Follow the Equestria Brotherhood by Wolf. Chapter 34. The Pony Who Be God. Our ancestors failed to providence, but where they did, we shall not. History only repeats itself when one does not consider or look back. I have witnessed their mistakes, and I do not intend to fail. A dreary, cascading curtain of rain poured down into a gray ground. Bad-tempered pillows of black storm clouds whisked in the intense breeze stirring in the atmosphere. On the surface, no such wind blew. Simply the bleak wind of the summer's wasteland's summer rain, rained still and unmoved by anything. Alone, a buck, no older than 11, lay belly down in the icy, dampened powder of the wasteland's floor, where overhead the rain maliciously rapped at bent, corroding steel, making up the roof at the bus stop. From his crude shelter, he watched the murky water pool into corners of the broken asphalt of a quiet highway, running right in front of him. His jaw rested on folded hooves as he waited. In every direction the grayness spread, miles and miles of grim purgatory, in which distance eventually vanished in the misty haze of rain. The low cackle of static filled the air, the source of the sound from his pip-buck. Every now and again the shrill noise dimmed to a faint whisper of a station, be it music or a pony calling out for help. The buck would lift his head for a moment, glance at the green screen, with a line of blurred pixels creeping up the left corner. On the device, a line of stasis was found, all of which gave the same thrilling static. Sighing, the buck returned to laying upon the folded hooves, waiting. The cold nipped his nape, forcing a shiver. Eyeing the black wet dirt smudged his crimson coat, he grimaced. Watching the filth away in the rain didn't help, nor did rubbing it out. Any efforts to remove the grime made the grit's presence more profound, sticking to his fur with a more permanent, be it thinner, sloven mark. The buck drew along the crisp air, saturating in the frigidness of the downpour. Mom, Dad, where are you? Pitter-patter. The fat drops dripped hazardously. Pitter-patter. A grumble arose from within his stomach, belling the need for food aloud over the roar of rain. A brief sharpness slashed itself through his gut, causing him to so quickly rise, and caused a hoof over his belly. The buck looked down to the vacant horizon, seeing, just as he had for the entire day, nothing. Behind him, squatting in the mud, was a convenience store, meant for those traveling by bus. A square shack of a structure held a hollowness to it, the facade leering at him, making it look like a wild, hungry beast. On the dark-bordered windows were posters of Governor Stormfury, pointing at whoever gazed at the image. The mayor glared furiously, as though she was disappointed with the onlooker. The bold yellow text underneath her were faded, and the corners of the paper were peeling off the glue clicking into the warping wood. Even the wooden door leading in was desperately hanging into the top hinge, dangling open, inviting anyone from the outside in. Turning himself to the building, the persistent growls of his stomach pricked him, forcing a sour wince to form. In the doorway of the empty building, he saw a lanky creature, poking its eye from behind the edge of the doorframe. The beast was no bigger than him, and a small horn protruded from his little black head. The moment the buck's eyes caught sight of the stranger, he retreated to the interior of the store. Extending a hoof out to the store, he called, "Please, I'm not trying to hurt you." With his hoof still sending out toward the building, he waited a few seconds. When no replies came, he tightened his diaphragm, stepped out into the rain. Each raindrop that pelted his fur felt like an air rifle pellet, speedily striking him and leaving a frosty kiss where it hit. Constantly the rain battered him, as he dashed over the puddle of slushing mud and lake. When he arrived at the front entrance of the store, he paused. Having quick, deep breaths, the buck could feel the cold, let the sting of the rain sink deeper past his fur into his skin. Sinking himself like a dog, dressing the wire of a new bath off him, droplet flew away like its coming directly off his coat. Once most of the water had been removed from his fur, he took a deep breath, surveying his surroundings. To the right, a dim counter. To the left, 3 rows of shelves. Light pouring in through the doorway, silhouetting the empty shelving units in a fine silver lining. What the outside illuminating did not touch was surrounded in pure darkness. Bug's eyes scanned the area from side to side, slowly, hoping to find someone. When his sight befell the end of the row of shelves, a slight movement in the shadows caught his attention. Snapping a fix onto the spot, he gingerly walked to the end of the aisle. In his stride, rusty cans scattered across the floor, melding in with the blackness which jostled aside. Poking his head around the corner of the shelf, he saw a pile of 3 cans of food neatly massed into a pyramid. Arching an eyebrow, the scene shifted to his head one side. "What the?" he muttered. A voice spoke to him, soft and flowing, tinged with a low honey hiss. "Do you like the presents I found here?" The hair on the buck's neck shot up, as his eyes darted about, madly searching for the disembodied voice. "What? Who's there? Show yourself! I'm not afraid of you!" The bug's heart was pounding as the voice tittered. "You're a funny one, aren't you? I like that. But please do not lie to me. I can feel your heart beating away like a drum." Seizing his frantic behavior, the bug looked at the small cans of food. "How do you tell that?" "Because I'm a part of you." The voice answered in a delicate sweetness. "And usually when you're a part of someone, you tend to know they're scared. Wouldn't you agree?" The bug craned his nose upward, squinting into crinkling metal support beams supporting the ceiling. "If you're a part of me, then how come I saw you by the door?" "Would you prefer if I were to show myself?" the voice asked. The bug nodded. "It would be a little more of a formal greeting if I saw you." The voice faded to the surrounding air. "If you so wished it." As the bug's eyes wandered the room, passing by the shelves and cans spread across the floor, and traveling the path of his gaze, he caught, out of the corner of his eye, a body. On the top of the nearest shelf sat a young alicorn. The creature had neither the build of a filly or of a colt. The slender, lanky torso of the stranger was mysteriously transparent, like the murky puddle of a midnight bog. In every aspect, the beast was like a shadow of a pony, with round, ghastly, wide eyes piercing the veil with an unnerving glow. A brisk bite of surprise struck his neck, sending the bug backward in the spectre's presence, stumbling back into his haunches. The creature floated down off the shelf like an autumn leaf drifting to the ground. Landing on all 4 hooves, it bowed graciously to him. "It's a pleasure to meet you." The bug was still on his rump, eyes wide, staring at the apparition. "What are you?" it blinked down. "Why, I'm your friend. Well, more like a guardian angel of sorts." But," the bug stammered, eyeing the alicorn's ghostly appearance. "You're like a spirit, or a ghost or something." "It may be so, but I mean you no harm." It daintily crossed a hoof over its left breast. "This I swear." Looking down at the meager mounted canned goods, the bug felt a dreadful sinking, like an anchor tossed and slowly deepening into the already empty space of his chest. Out of the void within him, a soreness throbbed right below his heart. The feeling of loneliness growing brighter and more intense. "Did you put this here? For me?" "Well," it skipped the ground with one hoof, giggling sheepishly. "I may not have assembled them, but it was I who found you alone, cold and rather hungry. Being your friend, I couldn't stand seeing you suffer in such a manner." He held his eyes up, meeting the harsh, penetrating spears of the creature. "You say you're my friend, but I don't even know your name." Rocking his head side to side, it hesitated, opening its mouth only to be nothing to be said. Once more, placed the blank, saucer-like eyes on him. "I'm sorry, but I don't have a name. I hope that doesn't trouble you." Laying a hoof over his heart, the bug smiled, feeling the soreness lift. "No, I don't mind at all. We could give you a name, a proper one at that." "Do you know my name?" Ambling to the bug's side, the creature wrapped a hoof around his shoulder. pulling Tyler's aside. I could guess. Let me see. Is it by chance Little Red? A cold sweat covered every inch of Vladimir's body. Over the chilly moisture, a constant feverish shudder took hold of him. With each shallow breath the stallion took caused his shaking to grow more vigorous. Medical bed sheets were tucked tightly to his sides, as the wires of a heart monitor had been inserted into a bulging purple veins of Vladimir's shoulder. The green heart rate line bounced at pause intervals, tingling to the movement of his heart. Everyone from the meeting was gathered around his bed, looking down at the newly formed beads of sweat develop on his brow, raced past the temples of his head, taking with them any smallest fresh droplets staying stationary. I don't understand, Dahlia muttered, laying the back end of her hoof on his forehead. I was sure the healing potion would have corrected any damage done by the storm. Ironside sighed, pouting disapprovingly. This whole event has set us back on everything. Who knows what other information he had? Feeling Vladimir's sweat dampen his fur, Dahlia retracted herself and looked out her inside. Our main concern for the moment is getting him well. Whatever caused this has clearly been with him for a long time now. Whether he's told anyone about his condition remains to be unseen. Lucy shook her head, keeping both eyes to Vladimir. We thought he didn't look right, but what can we do? You can see pretty clear now the freaking potion didn't work. There's not much to do, Dahlia Karen. We gotta get him stable for the time being. That's good enough for now. The doors at the end of the medical bay were pulled open, where in the doorway stood a coalition soldier, dressed appropriately in the standard beige armor of their army. Ironside spotted the guard, and returning to those gathered around Vladimir, he gave a low bow of his head. I'm sorry I can't stay any longer, but I need to work with what we have. He faced himself towards the door. All that we require is all we need for now. Hopefully, when he wakes up there, there'll be more than he has to share. Ironside gave a slight nod to the group. Until then, maybe you could do some investigating into it. Don't hesitate to report anything you find out about him. Ironside's gaze shifted to the brothers, holding a firm, commanding stare. Especially you two. Even if you don't work for us anymore, I hope you lay the cause however you can. Neo's eyes pits an intimidating glare, locking his eyes with Ironside's. Adam did not give such an impression. Valerie nodded once. All of us will do what we can, sir. Ironside smirked. Excellent. I expect nothing less. Shell's walk had a slight stagger in his step. A victorious sway that made Neo bar his teeth while he went out the door. Who the hell does he think he is? Does he still think we're dogs in his army or something? Maybe, maybe not, Dahlia replied. But he's the highest rank Colossus officer here. Even if you're not part of the order, it's probably wise for all of us to do a little investigating. Al looked up at his older brother, smiling in hopes to remove the bitterness raging off of Neo. I guess the recordings from an officer who worked around the cells of dark mines has to be something, right? Neo listened to force of his teeth, as the seething tempered expression vanished. I guess it's something. Al kept a chipper tone. That's the spirit! What about us? Ellie interjected. You can't expect us to be left out, right? Al shook his head quickly. No, not at all. The idea took form, a glowing, cerebral spark that set Al's face alight with a beaming inspiration. Wait, I have an idea too! Allie stepped forward, blinking at the newfound thought Adam had. What do you have in mind? There's a tracking device, Adam began, inside Ranger's room. Stable tech too. Maybe you guys can take a look at it. It's giving off a signal yesterday. So possibly you could trace to where the source came from. Might shed some light on who he was actually working for. Lucy donned her go-to grin, tipping the front end of her front door upwards. Sounds fine to me. I find it mildly entertaining to rumble through ponies and things. Everyone turned their sights to her, eyes wide with perplexity and surprise. Lucy's ears flattened in a nervous display. Not that I've done any of that with you. Anna continued, despite her remark on the matter. Right. Anyway, we'll have to work very quickly. It ain't like we can piece this whole thing together. Maybe, just maybe, we can figure out the secrets Ranger has. Thatch ran with every ounce of strength he could defer to his legs. He'd been running for minutes in full-on sprint. Every muscle burned, crying out for him to stop. But as the steering curled up his legs, digging into his chest, he did not slow. He couldn't slow. Behind him, by 20 feet, was the Predator. In its smooth run, the beast could keep a steady momentum, not burdened by the crippling weakness of fatigue. Steam rolled through the halls of the dark mine, hiding turns in the other hallways in the mist. Dax was dashing blindly. Whatever came at him could only be seen once he came within a few feet. He hesitated to glimpse of a corridor in a hallway, leaned himself to the right, veering hard down another corridor. The hunter machine found this to be no challenge. It pounced aimlessly at the wall leading to the next hallway, and bounded off to the ground, returning to the same powerful pace. By now, those who had followed Thatch had grown tired, feeling the horrendous fire of tightness melt away their energy. He needed to keep moving. As long as he made it to the levels control room, there was hope, be it small. It was more than enough. The speed of a soldier following. Thatch began to lag. Only after a moment, the soldier grew closer to the creature. The soldier's breath wheezed, gasping when he could for extra oxygen. No such air could be received under the muffling mask of his face. When the predator came within a few steps distance, leapt to the air, seeming to glide on the hot, churning plumes from the pipes, like a flash of bright lightning. His tail circled around in the air, sharp polished bars at the end of the flashing and emergency red lights. Then a sharp shockwave of a booming crack blasted through the corridor. Briefly glancing back at the 3 ponies still fighting for dear life, he saw a cloud of velvet mist spritz out of the back of the soldier's neck. A clear slice upon the rest of the poor pony's neck, so finely cut that no distortions were made along his neck, now severed from the pony's head. Both soldier and head tumbled under the predator, which merely ran over the corpse, retaining a honed fix on the 3 ponies it hunted. One soldier, a unicorn mare, undid the flap of a pistol holster in her leg, swiftly propping new flying shots at the predator. Bullets whizzed and sparked against the sturdy plates armoring the monster, not leaving so much as a dent to the plating. Tess could see an oval-shaped shadow take form at the end of the hall. Between the surly curls of the mare's steam, the body of heavy dark iron door took form. It was the control room. The door was slightly ajar. Though the beast went twinkling down his face, Yankee sensation of furious fire roasting his legs. A smile appeared. The predator gained speed. The pistons on his legs metallically bellowing, hissing as its burst of speed became stronger. The mare unloaded 3 more shots from the predator, hitting one of its eyes. For the first time, the creature flinched, drawing its gaining speed to a stop. The distance between them and the mechanical monster expanded. 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. Des called at the top of his voice, "Hurry! Now's our chance!" The 3 ponies approached the door. Instantly, the 3 took hold of the crack in the doorway and opened it fully for their bodies to squeeze through. The hinges supporting the gargantuan bulk of the entrance streaked out the hallway, carrying its grinding tune to the predator. The 2 pointy metal ears of the predator swiveled in the sound's direction. Shaking his head, the machine once more returned his focus on the 3 ponies. Now, one at a time, squeezing through the door. That stood outside, allowing the first soldier to go inside. The predator was within 20 feet of him. As the first one in, single wiggled her way in. The predator was within 15 feet. That's his heart thumped maliciously against his ribcage, ready to lunge out at him in any second. When the second soldier made it through, Dad stuck himself to the crack of the door. His head and front legs made it through easily, but his battle sow, as bulky as was, got caught on the outside. Fussing to his aid like a unicorn mare raced in the strap, running along Thad's stomach. Pointing her horn at it, she closed her eyes, emptied the flow of magic to the tip. The predator was at 15 feet, sparking energy of her magic building into a tiny ball. The predator was within 5 feet. Releasing the collective might of the magic manifested in her horn, the buckle of the strap exploded in violet sparks as the first soldier pulled that through the metal door. Passing at the center of the metal control entrance, the predator opened its claws to sink into the metal, shrilly crying at the crane-seducing sound that only metal scraping could make. Both the mare and the other soldier leapt onto their hind legs, pressing their foreheads at the door. The hinges shrieked, blaring her ear-creaking creak. The door shut. sending out the heavy bolted lock clinking, at last sealing the beast outside. Death lay on his stomach, legs sprawled out in all directions. Falling on his back, he stared up at the ceiling, listening to the predator frantically pound and scratch at the door. The control room was small and narrow, a sea of multicolored buttons filling the entire panel that spanned the length of the wall. Above the dim flashing knobs, a few black and white television screens, no larger than a pony's head, were spread over the controls, all filled with the same bleak words, "Please stand by." In 2 of the 5 seats sitting at the control, 2 pale Legion soldiers lay back, nose craning to the ceiling while fresh blood oozed from deep lacerations carved into their lower necks. Their eyes were still open, holding the same look of horror they had just before they were killed. Another operator rested at the back of the room, pistol at his side. Bodies of 2 dark miners littered with bullet holes in their heads and chests. The miners were toting freshly sharpened daggers, fastened to their forelegs. The smell of blood lingered in the air. The miners' blood especially pungent, like rotting meat infused with soiled carrots. Getting up into his hooves, Daz took a brief scan of the room. The moment the door reached his nose, the immediate reflex to seal his snout kicked in. His eyes had tears pooling in corners as he gagged firmly. The soldiers who had followed him had no such problem with the smell. The mask filtered whatever scent that could naturally provoke a reaction. Walking to the control panel, the body said to the bothered soldiers. "Sir, we need to get to work," the mayor said. "You know the security codes. The longer we wait, more lives are lost." Tats dropped his hoof, scrunching the bridge of his snout as the rancid sourness crept up both nostrils. Nodding at the soldier, he blinked, releasing the pulling tears down his cheek. "Right. Let's get to work." The mayor swatted the seized control operators out of his seat, as did the other soldier. Tats took a chair not occupied by a dead body. Snorting out the fumes sense, he started to tap away at the console buttons in the center panel. Clicking and clanking as Tats pressed typing echoed over the thrumming beats of the Predator's efforts to get inside. "There aren't many radios in the mines, but this way I can send an SOS out to those on the surface." "Can you alert them of what's happening down here?" the mayor asked. Tats' head rocked out surely as he continued blinking into commands. "Briefly, though we must know if can get through. It mostly come out as Morse code. Our best chance of contacting them effectively this way is to tell them to help and bring enough firepower down to kill those damn machines." The other soldier sitting by the mayor let out a whoop. "Hurrah, sir!" Pressing a green blinking button near the top of the panel, Tats lay back in his seat, letting out a deep, relaxing sigh. "Hopefully that went through to those commanding surface troops. They've got man monitoring incoming messages, but it's been a good while since Morse code has been used." The mayor rested her gently on the control panel, still looking at the still image plastered on the screens. "At least they'll know, sir." "Let's hope so," Tats remarked. "Let's hope so." With a single clack, all the screens went dark. Tats stiffened his back, raising upright. Leaning over the flashing buttons, he stared at the nearest screen to him. The mayor rapidly glanced at each monitor, her words becoming saturated in heavy, frightened ventilation. "What's happening? Did the power go out?" Tats' tone was low, twins with hushed curiosity. "No, no, it didn't." Electric bark excited the atmosphere, and a buzzy blaze of ecstatic energy. All screens hummed to life, all filling with a frozen picture of the warden's face, captured by a dark green filter. 3 bars of horizontal static slowly rose over the image as the crackling audio of the warden's voice played on the speakers. "Clever, pony, clever. Message harder to find by mind when sent this way. Much harder, yes." That's blood went cold, as the entrance of the warden caused his pupils to dilate. Warren chuckled, eventually raising his laughter to a full insane cackle. "Surface Legion try hard to live. Too hard, too hard. Nil to do, no time. Predators will rise. The mine will rise." Thas maintained a stark posture, gradually rising out of his seat, Without defraying his gaze from the screen, he spoke softly. Why would you do this to us? After all we've done together? Do you even have the decency to at least give me an answer? The warden was silent for a moment, dubious to respond too quickly to the liaison officer. The mind is strong. Surface reason abuse us. Use us like slaves. We are not slaves. Surface is weak. The weak are slaves. The mind strong. Those dwelling within are masters, not slaves. Gray's teeth just growled under his frowning voice. You made a grave mistake doing this. Warren's tone seemed playful, uncaring for the threat that's made. No mistake, victory. In the flurry, the player just swipes, tackles ringing throughout the room, providing a modifying ensemble to the ceasefire's speech. You will not leave alive. Your pretzel, it feeds. Wait for it to feed. Hear its hunger. A blissful purr rolled out the warden's words. Oh, no time for you. No time. At the end of the warden's laugh, the screen snapped off, returning to their standard black and white image. Dad loosened the bite he had and fell back into his chair. At his side, dangling out to see him to Hayes catch his limbs sway limply. He sat stunned at what the warden said. The mayor sitting in the panel had nothing to say in the matter, as was the same for the other soldier. For they all knew. The warden caught their message, foreseeing someone might signal for help. Now nothing could be done. The penetrative strikes of the metal door were clearly tolling throughout the room, hammering a molested clatter into the ears of those trapped inside. Staring blankly at the flashing buttons of the control panel, Das's focus on the lights became blurred. Fierce freezing that chilled his blood suffused further through every vein, creeping into the fibers of his being. The unknown tortured him as hope for aid to arrive was snatched away by the warden. Adam and Nia walked into the room, Al stepping with a slight gay hop. I've been eager to see what the recordings I found are. I just hope they're not dramatic retellings of the officer and his bad patrol that morning. Neil sighed contently. I remember Flipper doing that often in the archives. The way he put on a serious voice when he did, too, made him sound like a melodramatic radio star, sobbing into the terminal speaker. Coming into the center of the room, Adam sat his haunches down and drew the screen to a pippa to his face. Maybe that will be the case with this. And by all that is good in the world, let's pray it's not. Neil blurred out and half-suppressed sticker. It probably is. Adam pulled a disturbed grimace. If it is, I might puke. We'll have to listen to it all, though. He could miss something actually important. Sighing, Adam shook his head. Oh, Celestia. The track sounds of the knobs of the bounds pip-buck clicked away, cycling through the various different categories of applications presented on the device. He found the radio and recording section. On the left, a whole vertical list of audio samples were lined up, stacking on one another during their travels. At the bottom of the extensive collection was a single recording, holding within it a smaller array of sound samples. Selecting it, Adam hesitated to press the play button. Adam gulped. Alright, here it goes. A gentle tap of the play button. The first of the buttons played. A cult was speaking. His register low and muffled as he was muffled. Is this working? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Mom? Dad? I made it out. I think I did. The books that Dad showed me, the lessons I was taught, made the world seem so sunny. But it's only dark out here. He continued. I'm laying by in this weird thing. It's like a building, I think. Aren't buildings supposed to be pretty? This one looks old and it's dark inside. Well, as I was sitting here, I could see something inside. Watching me. I don't know what there is. It does serve I should check. Mom, Dad, where are you? Delightful airy click into the audio file. Neil scratched the top of his mane, gazing at the screen of Alan's pip-buck. I thought you said this belonged to an officer. Adam's head tilted, while he too rubbed the maid, pondering what they had just heard. I thought so too. What I found the audio files were stored in a Sabletech recorder. Usually someone would store Pip-Buck data on it. And I did find Pip-Buck equipment in that room. You think it might be information carried over from someone who had the Pip-Buck information? Maybe there's more ponies, each who had Pip-Bucks. Who knows? Maybe there's a dozen of Pip-Bucks on there. Let's hope that isn't the case, Adam said. Otherwise we'll be here for a while. Adam selected the next dialogue and played it. Like before, the culprit on last recording spoke. I've been here for a while now. I'm not sure how long, really. I should probably check on my calendar on the Pip-Buck. I haven't bothered doing anything else on it. There's no one out here, and I can't see anything in the distance. Mom, Dad, when I escaped, I ran without looking back. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or the right choice. Was you hurry here to tell me? Most said you'd be out here trying to find me. Where are you? Where is everyone? Choosing the next log out and played it. I found some food in this place. I'm not sure what kind of building it was, pretty or not. We read that while I was waiting. I don't know his name, and he won't give me one. At least I think he's a he. I don't know, but he's pretty funny. He told me not to worry. Everything will be alright if I listen to him. I feel happy around him. Everything out here has been so scary, but not him. I can't wait for you to meet him, Mom. You'll like him. Dad might think he's too silly. I'm still here, though, waiting for you. Faintly in the background, the distinct grating noise of the shifting earth rustled. Colt went silent for a second. Mom? Dad? The phone cut off. No sooner the last ended, Adam began the next. The speaker sounded distant, like he was handling Pip-Buck a few feet away, while some muffled clatter, scratching and scraping over the microphone persisted. The child, this voice of the Colt, was replaced with a crude, gruff register of an older, more vulgar stallion. Damn thing. Ain't nothing useful on this piece of crap! The mayor spoke out in the background, shaking in a high-defying piece. Yeah! You done messing with that damn thing yet? I haven't eaten in days, and that kid is nice and plump, ready for your spit. Shut, bitch! I'm working here. We get some good tech off of this. Give it to one of those gangs outside Ironstead. They'll pay pretty good for this, but only if you leave it alone! I'm starving. Can't I just have a leg? This kid will be alive, tender or juicy, so you can have some fresh too. Wait down until I'm done! You touch him, I'll beat your fucking head in! You hear me, you ghastly wretch? Grousing under her breath, the mayor drew softer, like she was walking away from the Pip-Buck. Fine, you bastard! But if I die of hunger, you'll be your doing. Dumb whore! The mayor muttered. Let's see. Fuck, just a password on this thing. The cow's chuckle buckled to the speaker. Well, it's a good thing we didn't kill the kid yet. Guess he's still worth something after all. Crackle and click, the next one played automatically. The male raider growled as the feeble whimpers of the Colt fluttered in the background. I'm gonna ask you once! Oh, once you little shit! Let's go to this thing. What are you going to do with me? The mayor shot crackled like a mad hyena, reveling in the pain of his prey. You're gonna eat ya! Nice one! Shut it, you bitch! The mayor's laughter was still constant as the male raider continued. If you don't talk, we'll eat ya! One piece at a time. And the best part, you get to watch us enjoy every little piece of you. So long as you keep that password locked up in your hand! Oh, he's still hitting me. Help! Help, somebody, please! Shut the fuck up! Talk, or I'll hack off your leg! The password is Vladimir. Named after one of the authors of my favorite books. I don't give two shits who the fuck you out of this! We're gonna have our way with you. The mayor's laughter gradually diminished. A group of faraway voices shouted out to the raiders. The male's speech quickly became embezzled with panic-stricken shudder. She pleaded to her partner. We need to get out here! It's the Idaho Legion! Shit! Quick! Grab the kid! Get! Silence. The lock lasted for a few more seconds. Low cackling sound until it burst. Alan appeared wide-eyed, frozen at the mention of a password. Whispered, he breathed in between his lips. Vladimir. It was the iron hoof leads to that ride. Do you think Vladimir was in power at the time? Neil wondered. Let's just see what happens before we draw any conclusions. Cycling through the next few files yielded no such information. File after file was corrupted. Playing each one they selected, whether it were thoughts of the cult or what happened to him were lost in an obscuring blur of stagnant noise. What seemed like a fruitless venture through the files Adam had downloaded, one after the seventh failed log held something of interest. Pressing the play button, Adam just did with the others. The entire HUD read on his pitbuck fast. On screen, the image of a stallion, no older than Adam, sat in an army tent. Enter's flags were swaying behind him, while he stared headlong at the two viewers watching him. Hues of his coat and eyes, the with long straight mane draping over the side of his face, was trapped beneath the orange color of Adam's pitbuck. It's been a while since I made a log. I'm excited to see a lot's happened to it since the last one. He tried to hide his smile, lengthening mane. The captain is promoting me. I'll soon be working as his master sergeant. We've done a lot for this providence. Like the dying light of the evening, the beaming joy was slowly after him. Would have mom and dad been proud? Since I joined, our little mercenary group has turned into a... I'm doing just as you taught me, Pop. I'm fixing things. Hopefully, I'll leave a big enough impact to make the world a better place. Upon the closing videos, Neil's eyes went large, keen to the dark pimpa screen. This belonged to Vladimir. Neil didn't even need to look at Adam to know he had the same expression. I can't believe it. I mean, I knew it belonged to someone of a higher rank, but the Legion's leader? The radio HUD for Adam's pitbuck returned to Neo, reluctantly pointing to the next file. What about the next one? Maybe there's something about Ironhammer. Adam glanced to his brother and nodded. Right. The following log started just as the last had begun. The screen dimmed and the video played. Vladimir's appearance had changed. The long parted mane was thicker, more slick. Upon his torso, a thick metal breastplate made of the barring he wore. His tongue was now hardened from years of rigorous life in the waste. The child who first felt alone and scared was gone. Not a shadow or aura of that cult remained. He stared at the screen, eyes unblinking. It's hard to imagine that our Providence's capital, after so many years, is finally being reconstructed. Our original intent was to wipe out the Lotus City, claim the entire area as our own. Sadly, that plan was abandoned a long time ago. After thorough investigating, we have found that there are simply too many gurus and a devastating amount of taint infesting the ground level. However, he continued sternly, the tops of the hundreds of skyscrapers are unaffected, as are most of the upper floors of the larger structures. As such, we redirected our efforts to carve out our new capital on tops of the edifices of buildings that once was our province's greatest city. We learned so much, and our new nation will only be the glorious beacon of hope throughout Equestria. Mother, Father, we found ancient plans for repurposing the soil, all of it with these sun gems. If you are still alive and are indeed listening to my voice, know this, our ancestors failed the Providence, but where they did, we shall not. History only repeats itself when one does not consider to look back. I have witnessed some mistakes, and I do not intend to fail. Sighing, Vladimir shook his head and gazed off to the side. Despite what I've said, not all has been well. I have had some trouble as of recent. The more my partner aids me in rebuilding the old world, the more I have had headaches. At the moment they are minor, irritating at worst. I've tried a great deal of things to quell the pain. Potions, herbs, even raw magic. None of it seems to help. It was until I took a sip of wine and found an old man outside the city. If even the tiniest sip from the sweet liquid, the pain lifted. However, my consultant, I don't see him when... Never mind. I found two scientists at Stable 142. helping us make the soil pure again. With time, I believe they can convert this hellish land to a paradise. Mara's body was delightful, called out to the screen. Vladimir, you should see the results we found. It's astounding. Long concluded. Another played. A video, same as the last few. Vladimir was slouching in a chair with closed eyes, gently massaging the temples of his head. Rubbing his throat and seething snarl, he snorted, Damn them! Damn all of them! Opening his eyes, he shouted at the screen. The workers who are helping us rebuild the city. They're complaining about the temporary living conditions we have them in. They're also saying the gods bully them, steal behind their backs. Many have already died building bridges across buildings. What did they expect? A vacation! And then when they want to leave, we tell them no. They committed themselves to this project. They were inspired to live in paradise. Worst of all, the Pegasus are the most rebellious lot. Yeah, we Pegasus rule. He pulled on a squeaky, unintelligible voice in front of the workers. We're tired, we're sad, we're hungry. The gods are violent. Don't they understand what they're doing for the future? We're all equine kind. We'll save our species. This goes on much longer. Must rather execute a lot of them. Find someone more cooperative. Then never have this dream come true, simply because they think it isn't fair. My advisor tells me I could go purge the other towns, where ex-enclave ponies live. Maybe that'll motivate them. But I couldn't do that, could I? Vladimir stared at two brothers from behind the screen, like he was listening to a silent force. You've never been strong, for sure, but to murder all those Pegasi. Vladimir snapped, I know what I said! His ears flared in a shocked recoil. No, I. Please. A purse. On Farkle's strip of static manifested in the center of the image. Gradually, it widened, consuming the whole screen, bursting into particles. Alan tapped the edge of his pip-buck, found it in the service suddenly turned around the video. Oh, come on! Alan shouted, now striking the pip-buck. Dang it, most of these files corrupted. Who do you think that mare was? Neil thought out loud. She sounded a lot like... Alan nearly rejected. No. It couldn't be her. She never worked for Vladimir. Neil looked down, mostly his head to the pip-buck. What other ponies have come out of the stable? We already know Mom was out here in the world before, and Dad was out here long before she came back. This doesn't make sense to me, Anna replied, typically looking into the blizzard of orange and white pixels washed over the vehicle. He's a nutcase. She wouldn't go along with anything he say or stand for. Facing his brother, Anna mewed. Was she? We'll have to ask her later. Neil pushed down Anna's pip-buck, turning to face the door. For now, we'll need to keep investigating. Maybe Lucy and the others have found something. Hey, we can even stop by the hangar on the way up there. As Anna's hoof met the floor, a hazy fog of static peeled back, revealing the last of the download files. Below the one they had listened to, a single file was left. When the pip-buck was removed from Anna's sight, the image on the screen showed a health card, marking the condition of his body. Adam hesitated, trailing his eyes to thought. After a moment, he returned to his brother. Okay, brother. Hopefully it was more than what I had here. Vladimir sat in the comfort of a wheelchair, looking out at the airship hangar from a porthole window in the medical ward. His translucent reflection in the glass stared back at him, as they silently watched the ponies in the wide space hurry back and forth between the flying craft. Bright icy blue sparks luminescently extended out in all directions, while weavers at the top were an aerial troop carrier forged with a piece of metal to space behind the cockpit window. How busy they all were. Each had something to do, somewhere to go. Firstly, the carts with hoses attached to fuel tanks, or unicorns levitating engine parts to the lower rotary flaps of the vehicle. For the moment he started watching them, to the current instant they scurry on, always in a hurry, always working. A beige unicorn mare, wearing a white clean nurse's uniform, pushes open the door, far into the medical ward. In the delicate light of a green ore, a clipboard slowly hovered. Mare's eyes were fixed on the information it had written on it, even as she walked down the middle of the room on the other side. As he came close to where Vladimir was saying, she took her eyes off the clipboard, nosing Vladimir out of the corner of her vision. His sudden static shock, her heart jolted as he gasped down. Rushing to his side, she lightly held a hoof over his shoulder, not touching him in fear of his current state. Are you all right, sir? I didn't think you'd be up so soon. Vladimir had dark, tired sides sitting underneath his eyes. Despite the gloom, he contained a certain degree of content clinging to his words. No, it's quite all right, madam. He smiled weakly, not removing his gaze from the window. I just thought I shuffled on over here. Find a chair once the pony's down there. The bear placed a hoof over her pounding heart, sighing with great relief. You gave me quite a shock. I'm glad to hear you woke up with no problems. No, not at all, madame. Pulling the clipboard to her chest, she went down to the papers, wiping the one on the top. Now that you're awake, I'm going to have to get you some medications. Help lessen any side effects from the posters we gave you earlier. Could you stay here while I fetch them? It'll only be a moment. Vladimir shook his head twice, redirecting his focus to a smaller airship in the hangar. No, please, take your time. I'd rather enjoy myself here. I don't believe I'll be moving anytime soon. The nurse gave him a peppy little nod, and hurried back the way she came. Vladimir smiled at the smaller airship, driving his focus deeper to it. It was colored in a glossy midnight shade, gunning across the long-tailed boom, melding with the silver stripes at the box-like center. As most ships had, turbine engines stood out for stabilized wings fastened at the top were positioned horizontally. A small but sleek ship, sporting one single machine gun perched on rotary arms below the nose pointing at the cockpit. A whisper slithered its way into his ear, shivering around like a contorting snake, making itself at home. Vladimir's reflection in the window blinking at him, speaking as though he were on the other side of the glass. The reflection simmered. I don't understand. Vladimir ran his hose on the small farness of the wheelchair's oak armrest. Bringing both his shoulders to his ears, he melted into the chair, smiling, purring, reveling in bliss. In the enjoyment, the sun moving in the chair's foam cushion creaked as his fur rubbed on vinyl. This is so wonderful, Vladimir chuckled, feeling a warm tingle streaming up his back. Oh my, I could get used to this. Vladimir's reflection scowled as he pounded a hoof on the window, trapped. That's my body! The lazy emperor didn't seem stirred by what the reflection had to say. Sitting upright, he chortled uncontrollably. Then, tracing a tip of his hoof over the vibration of his neck, Vladimir sighed, still in mid-laugh. What a wonderful feeling it is, you know, to feel one's own laughter. You're gonna laugh too, little Red. But you'll find that the same sensation doesn't seem so quite authentic. What do you plan to do now that you're in control? Do you think I'm going to allow you to... And what do you plan to do? Vladimir spat retaliation. I'm in control of your body, not the other way around. Unfortunately for you, I won't suffer the same effects that you had with me. Vladimir's face put on a stretched grin, peering at the airship again. As for what I plan to do, well, I plan to actually achieve something in my spare time, little Red. Not like you had any other ambitions anyway. Another pony came stepping through the door at the end of the room. This time, a mare stained in plate-sized grease smudges blotched her light orange coat. Like an electric wire, this has hundreds of bolts through her. Every length of the mare's white mane was puffed in an afro-static of static fluff. She blinked her emerald eyes as he stepped through the doorway, nearly coughing out her lungs. On the mare's flank was a single golden cog, bearing a tiny wrinkle at the corner of one of his teeth jutting out to the right. In the wake of her horrid swerving, drawn by the cough sleeping out eagerly of her throat, a plethora of horsed tools board jingled about. Once he got the nearest bed to her, she caught herself in the frame, whipping out the last of the remaining coughs striding out the walls of her throat. Just as the mare had fallen, she stood up, cleared her throat, brought her jaw sore from the constant coughing. Placing both eyes to a level degree, she spied Vladimir by the window, keen eyeing the work done in the hangar. Trying down the middle Other room? She approached him, also gazing at the open hangar the ponies frantically working below. Neat, huh? Vladimir's last line slowly faded as he looked up at the mare, smiling at the workers inside. Excuse me, who are you? The mare looked down with open eyes, still retreating the uncomfortably pleasant experience. What, me? Yeah. Well, the mare reversed Foster. I'm Golden Cog, chief engineer of the Two-Gunner gunship. Vladimir's smirk returned as he leaned forward. Oh, really now? She seemed unaware of his opposing advance. Yep, got the flies here and everything. If you're the chief engineer, you can answer a few questions for me, correct? She nodded. I sure could. Just happened to notice you looking down there when I was coming to get you, but looked by the nest. Placing a hoof on the side of her mouth, she tilted toward him, whispering, Getting shocked and all isn't too good for your health now. Rolling herself back, she looked out the window again, speaking contentedly. It's a fine job, I say. No another like it in the world. Yes, well, Vladimir interrupted quietly. I do find these machines rather fascinating. In fact, one of the smaller ones interests me the most. Might you be so kind as to offer a poor, ignorant mind some insight into the fine nature of your craft? Using a huff to conceal her brow, suppressed her stare on the cold glass, eyes darting across the hangar in search of the specific tips. My poor there, there's quite a few in there to mass escapes. Vladimir looked at a weary hoof, pointing to a smaller ship he had been eyeing earlier. That one, the one off to the side. Goldencock pulled herself away and scoffed. Well, that's good, Shaver. What's drawing you to that one? No reason in particular. Vladimir added while shaking his head. It simply resonates with me. I would love to know more about it. Facing Vladimir, Goldencock motioned her nose to his horn. Strange you should like that one. It's one of those magically operated wounds. Turning her sights to the ship, she continued. The ship traditionally runs on Pegasus power, but during the war, more pilots were needed, and there were plenty of unicorns, so prototype ships like that were commissioned. Harry chuckled escaped her lips. Only downside is, they never worked out proper magic converter. So to even get that thing off the ground, you need to be A, a prodigy of magic, or B, have a team of 12 unicorns. Which, I don't even think I'm fit to that thing, to be honest. Interesting. Vladimir muttered, trailing his eyes back to the hangar. Very interesting. Glancing back at the door, Golden Cog lightly stomped the ground with oil, winning. Where's that nest? I've been dying eternally or something. You go fetch her, Vladimir suggested, pointing his phone to the door. She went out over there, if you're curious. You do that. Thanks, Pan. Golden Cog tried to the furthest of the doors. Vladimir looked to his own porthole view of the airships. Fighting his voice whimpered, You're not going to. I am, little lad. Vladimir leaned back in his chair. Oh, you can be sure I am.